Hi, everybody. Todd Nash, Senate District 29. We have 30 days left here, folks, and session will be wrapped up. And I'm looking forward to that. It's been a long grind. I got sworn in January 13th and was wondering how I was going to get through this session, everything at home. And I want to touch on that just a little bit and give a shout out to my wife, Angie. Um, Made it through with the cattle. We had some hired help there this year, but my kids and grandkids chipped in and helped out. Neighbors, my brother, all lent toward getting us through this year, maintaining a little cattle herd we have at home. My son sent me a picture this week, and he got some irrigation going. It's getting dry, and for Northeast Oregon, a lot of Oregon is starting to get a little bit dry right now. But anyway, I want to say thank you everybody at home that has helped to support in some fashion. A lot of you not with ways right there on the place, but lots of other ways, lots of other support, and want to say thanks again. Another shout out to my staff here, Vicki and Jake. They just do so much behind the scenes to make us successful here and the success that we have had. I couldn't do it without them. I'm going to touch on a few things. So we had a hearing and on lumber grading, and so that has passed out. Finally, uh, it made it to the floor of the House, passed the floor of the House today. There was two dissenting votes there, but remember there's 60 people in that chamber, so not too bad to have two dissenting votes, and really proud of that bill. Looking forward to that going over to the governor's desk and getting that signed and ratifying that into law. Wolf depredation, Senate Bill 777. We almost got to that today, folks, but they shut the House down. And just it was that time of day, and they didn't quite get to it. It'll be one of the first bills that gets heard on Monday on the floor, and we look forward to that getting across the line. So much work has went into that. Really appreciate everybody's work on that. We have a number of bills still sitting in Ways and Means, and one of them that people keep asking about is Senate Bill 771, and that's the rodeo bill. It's asking for $5 million, and it would make small rodeos available for grants up to $250,000. If you're interested in that, if your community is interested in that, please get a hold of those folks in Ways and Means and let them know that is meaningful to you. We think it's a good way to get money back into those rural areas of Oregon. And I really appreciate the work that's been done on that, but that one's been asked about quite a bit lately. The Fairgrounds Bill 780 is in Ways and Means, and we're waiting to hear how that's going to work out. There's still yet to come on that. Greg Smith did have a press release today that he is sending some fair funding out of Ways and Means, and it's going to go to the floor of the House, and we'll see how that works out too. It's not quite as much as what we were asking for, so we still hope that Senate Bill 780 and that 1% cap that would come off of video lottery wins the day there. And I know Senator McLean has been working on that as well. We had a couple of bills signed this week by the governor, Senate Bill 761, and that's the Walla Walla Basin bill, and Senate Bill 9, and that was the bill that was really instrumental in being spearheaded by Wallowa County Commissioner Lisa Coyer, and she identified a problem there with local DMVs and those being used by out of area people to secure their driver's license. And so making those that live within a 50-mile area there, a radius, a priority. And so that made it all the way through, lickety split, and congratulations to Lisa on that. It's official now, signed by the governor. We'll be asking for a parchment copy of that and getting that to Lisa. The Agri-Stills Helpline, we're asking for that $2 million to endow that in perpetuity, and again, that's waiting in Ways and Means. I want to talk about some bills that I really didn't sponsor, didn't have a whole lot to do with, didn't get lobbied on, but Senate Bill 243. And ironically, most of you in Eastern Oregon that live in Senate District 29, if you say you have a 243, why, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. You would be talking about a caliber of rifle. I will tell you folks down here, hardly anybody knows what a 243 is, and how ironic that is that ended up to be a gun bill. There are parts of it that aren't all that bad, and I'll tell you some of those parts. So part of it addressed having a bump stock mechanism that turned a semi-automatic weapon into a fully automatic weapon. I've never understood bump stocks. I understand how they work. They turned that into not only a rapid fire rifle, but also to a wildly inaccurate rifle. And so if I'm going to go hunting with somebody, if I'm going to go shooting with somebody, I darn sure want them to be accurate. If we would have left it just at bump stocks, I might have been able to support the bill. But then they took it to a whole nother level and it allowed special districts, it allows counties, it allows cities to decide those gun-free areas during their meetings. And one of the things I relayed is the amount of security that we have here in the Capitol building is staggering. We have security everywhere. It's a gun-free area, but we have state police, we have retired police, we have security, we have, metal detector devices that we walk through. I don't know what the cost is of all that. It's got to be staggering. But then we go to small communities, and I use my own home county as an example. We're able to afford a sheriff and 5 deputies. Our county courthouse doesn't have security. Those meetings don't have security. And so making those gun-free areas, if there was a decision, I think that there needs to be security with those, because if you're going to disarm people, you better be able to make sure that you protect them. And most places don't have the wherewithal to do that. I represent 11 counties, 40 cities. You've heard that before in Senate District 29. Not one of those cities or counties petitioned me to vote for this bill. And I think it's a reflection of what is happening out there in the country, and then what happens here within the Capitol building. There's a detachment. Now, having said that, none of them are mandated to make those county or city meetings gun-free areas. But when you do that, oh, please, people, you leave yourself awful vulnerable. Figure out a way to make sure those people are secure. And I would much rather take the security that we have the liberty of having here at the Capitol and put that and invest that back in our schools. I want to make sure our schools are safe. So that's kind of was disheartening. That went down on a party line vote, Democrat against Republican, and we're seeing more of those type of bills that have been coming around here lately. And I despise that. I wish that we would come together as a state, be reasonable, work across the alley, and find that sweet middle spot where it's a win for everybody. But more and more and more as session goes on, we're starting to see that decouple a little bit, and it is disappointing. Um, we do work on tons of stuff though that is bipartisan, and I don't want to make it sound like we just do nothing but fight down here. A lot of great colleagues from both sides of the alley here, and but it is upsetting when you see that, and there wasn't even an effort to make that happen. We're still working on a few things here, and I haven't talked about it for a long time. The preg check bill that would allow people that are not licensed veterinarians to be able to pregnancy check cattle. We're working on getting the fiscal taken off of that so that that isn't killed in ways and means. The Energy Facilities Siting Council Bill 1034, we're going to get a hearing on that. We still don't have a time certain on that, but it's in the Rules Committee, and I know it's getting way late in the session, folks. There's still an outside chance, and I want everybody to be heard. I want to work on this. I want to refine it, and so we're doing that right now. Um, that's about it. I'm going to wrap up with that. There's a lot of other moving parts down here, but again, thank you everybody, and we will visit with you next week. Bye.